Nittany Lions average about 12.5 goals per game this season, 21st in the country. They come in 10-4. They went 3-2 in the Big Ten. One of the top conferences in college lacrosse, made it to the semifinal of the Big Ten tournament, lost to Maryland by 2. Here is Trainer, 22 in white and blue. When you watch this Colgate defense, they are uber aggressive. Keep an eye out on them pressing out, trying to cause turnovers. That's what makes them dangerous. A skip pass, an early shot. Whistles wide of the cage, and Matt Lacombe. It was Ethan Long, the senior midfielder.
And when you can see the style of play that Colgate's going to implement, it's going to press out on the defensive end, and that's going to open up passing lanes for Penn State to capitalize on it, right? Like, that's the risk reward that Colgate's willing to take. Can we cause enough turnovers for the amount of easy passing lanes that we will open up?
Here's Trainer, goal line extended. Shot clock winds down near 10. Now Long, dispossessed. Good defense from the Raiders, and a great start for Colgate. Patty Eldridge all over it, the short stick D-mid from Groton, Massachusetts, 48 in red. Colgate's a team that plays a lot in transition. That fast pace has helped them score more than 14 goals per game. Third best in Division I, behind only VMI and Cornell.
Yeah, it's not often you say, hey, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and their strength really isn't the 6-on-6. It's the chaos, it's the clearing, it's the opportunities they generate.
And they're on the board early. Not even 2 minutes in, Liam Connor has Matt Carwick's team on top.
And right here in the 6-on-6, a nice job from them. Initiating on the goal line high wing. Getting the ball through X, right? It's that simple pass there, and then the quickness of that release from Rory Connor, right? Like, look, he doesn't change hands, left-handed, cross-field, gets it to his brother, goes low to low, an off-speed release, and puts Colgate on the board. 1-0 Raiders.
It's Rory to Liam, and that is the 22nd time the brothers have assisted on the other's goal.
My guess is it won't be the last time in today's game.
That's their bread and butter. You get it to Rory and Liam, they can make magic happen. And you talked about notable brother duo playing on tackle.
It's such an awesome thing. I mean, look, the Thompson brothers, I mean, like, all across college lacrosse, brothers have made an impact. Not just average players, but great players, legendary players. For one here, so one up top, one on the line, first straight.
The backup.
Inside and overwhelmed.
Right now, this is his last name isn't Connor, but he puts up a ton of points. Number 17 for Colgate.
Yeah, 63 points on the season.
Jack Frassie, Penn State's goalie, with the steal. Just over 3 minutes into this first quarter.
And right now, Colgate's in that 10-man.
That's their Colgate. Parnham.
State's interest engage in the up-tempo round. I think they really want to control the pace of play in this matchup. Maybe a little bit bigger than Colgate. Maybe a little bit more disciplined on the offensive end. But for me, Colgate is at its best when they get the tempo going at an incredible speed.
This is the third possession for Penn State. They turn over on each of their first two. See if the Nittany Lions can generate some offense here. Matt Lacombe is the goalie for Colgate, the senior who is the Major League goalie of the three.
Timing their Penn State's going to have to start dodging and initiating and making quick ball movement after the first dodge. Colgate is they tried ball with one dodge to the goal.
Colgate is a team that's accustomed to going on the road and winning a lot of games. They were 7-6 on the road in the regular season, 2-2 at home. Their first 8 games were away from Hamilton, New York. And part of that was the weather, which, you know, if you've spent some time in upstate New York, you understand. Games that were originally scheduled to be played at home had to be moved to the road against Albany and Villanova. And as Matt Carwick, their coach, told us, the gate will be ready, no matter the weather, no matter the place. '20. Heavy physicality from the Penn State defense, and the Nittany Lions with a takeaway. Here comes Will Costin, younger brother of Matt Costin, a great attackman for Penn State. Graduated last year. And Matt Traynor slows things down. 6 minutes in, Colgate with the 1-0 lead. It was Rory to Liam Connor. This Jack Moan, the transfer from Rutgers, who's his 5th year at Penn State. Now Luke Wallstrom, one of 15 players in this Penn State program who walked at their graduation ceremony last Sunday. The team does their own graduation ceremony, anticipating a long run in the NCAA tournament, certainly playing on this weekend, commencement weekend. The feed in front, good patience, rings off the pipe.
A nice find from Liam Matthews there. And a better offensive set for Penn State. In and out of their sticks quick, finding the matchups they want to initiate against, typically against a short stick.
Here comes Amon, takes the shot, backed up with 49 to shoot. It was Wallstrom who was inches away from Penn State's first goal.
And a nice move from Amon there, but I actually would like to see him move that ball on. He drew the slide from Colgate, get it behind X so he can attack the backside and get a better opportunity.
It's at X now. This is Wallstrom, the senior, lost it, another takeaway, and again it's Eldridge. That's 4 early turnovers for Penn State. Colgate's defense doing what they're known for, causing turnovers, 11 per game in the regular season. That was tops in the Patriot North in Division I. This is Rory. Hunter, team all Patriot. Line midfield. On the setup, the shot off the crossbar. It was Jack Turner who took more shots during the regular season than anybody else in Division I lacrosse.
And here's Colgate at their best.
On the ride, they force a 5th Nittany Lions turnover. Penn State trying to take it right back. And they do. Emerging is John King, the short stick D-mid. Penn State is 0 for 3 with the 5 turnovers, make it 6. Colgate coming the other way. It's Ben Trumbull. Hits it ahead for Turner. Trying to use that physicality. Jack Turner, 6'4", 200. And a timeout called by Matt Carwick and Colgate.
Right now, Penn State is taking the bait.
Tambroni was at Cornell, tried to get Matt Carwick to come to Ithaca and play there. He ended up going to Notre Dame. which is where he was an assistant coach before taking over at Colgate back in 2018. But it's a small lacrosse world, right, Matt? And this is a perfect example of it. So far, Colgate has executed their plan to perfection. By the way, they're 7-1 this season when they score the first goal. But they forced Penn State into 2 failed clears and 6 turnovers. And now they've got a 2-0 lead. It's Ben Trumbull, his 5th of the season.
Cole on the 6-on-6. Getting opportunity after opportunity. Ben Trumbull right here does a nice job in the 2-man game. Penn State doesn't talk through this very well right now. Trumbull just fades away from the pick. Penn State doubles the ball carrier, right? They have to make a decision. Am I going under, or are we rotating and switching that 2-man game? The miscommunication leads to Trumbull being wide open to bury the second for Colgate here in the first quarter.
Reed Gills for Penn State, Kyle Rummel for Colgate. The ground ball is still loose, and it'll be Colgate for a moment. Rummel had it. And now Sam Erickson, the long stick midi for the Raiders, settles things down.
And I love what Coach Carwick is doing with Colgate, right? They've kind of had this, like, everyone's like, oh, Colgate, you watch them play. It's this amazing tempo. They take all this risk on their rides. It reminds me a lot of what Coach Lars Tiffany did when he was at Brown, when he was trying to turn that program around. He had them playing this chaotic up-tempo. Hey, if we give up a goal on the ride, that's okay, because we're going to get more possessions and create chaos, and that's what we want our brand of lacrosse to be.
Colgate turns it over, but like you said, Matt, they're going to be okay with a couple of turnovers here and there.
Because they cause a ton, right? They've caused 6 already. They have 5, Penn State has 6. Like, they'll live with that all day.
And by the way, folks, if you're looking for Sunbelt softball, it's currently in a weather delay. We'll keep you updated when we have news to share. And we have a flag down near midfield. You saw the shot toward the empty Colgate goal as they're in that 10-man ride. Let's get the call. 30 seconds.
So Colgate steps offside in that 10-man ride. Now that can happen, right? Like, you're taking your goalie out of the cage, you're bumping a D-man up, and he probably followed a Penn State attackman over the midfield, therefore going offsides and giving Penn State their first man up of the game.
So a 30-second extra man opportunity for Penn State. Nittany Lions 42% on the man up this year, tops in the Big Ten. Keep an eye on 55, Jack Amon, 5 man-up goals this year to lead the way. This guy's dangerous too, Trainer. The feed in front, off a Penn State stick, that'll be Colgate ball. That's 7 turnovers against the Nittany Lions, and that one stings on the man-up. Now Colgate looking to clear. It's the goalie, Lacombe. Got to get it across before the shot clock hits 60, and that's what they do.
And a great job from Colgate there, using the weasel, which in lacrosse is known as the clearing midi, who goes to the box and steps onto the offensive end, catching the defense off guard.
More than 10 minutes in, Penn State still scoreless. It's the longest they've gone to start a game without a goal all season. Hey, tomorrow night we got the final 2 episodes of Full Court Press Season 2 at 9 and 10 Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN+. It's a 4-part docuseries. Takes an unparalleled behind-the-scenes look into the lives of Hannah Hidalgo from Notre Dame, Flage Johnson from LSU, and Kiki Irifen from USC. 15 to shoot for Colgate. Already leading by 2. The ball's up for grabs, and Parnham comes away with it for Penn State. The senior from New Jersey, one of the best in the country at his position. Trainer loads it up, and it was knocked away. Lacombe dives, lost his stick. No goalie for Colgate. He recovers. What a save.
His first of the day comes in style.
And then Trainer lost his stick. Quinn Fitzsimmons playing defense for the Gate. That's an incredible play by Matt Lacombe. Matt Lacombe embodying this Colgate MO of aggressiveness and selling out, trying to get the ball. He ended up outside of his own crease.
He's very
got back in there.
He's active on the ground balls. He's active in the clearing game. Oh, by the way, in the semifinals against Army, he had over 24 saves, so he's doing it all.
Yeah, that was that massive upset. Colgate beating Army in the semifinals of the Patriot League tournament, and like you said, 24 saves. And that Army team, which was top 5 in the polls, missed the NCAA tournament. Here comes Ryan DeRocco. 77 in white and blue, the sophomore transfer from Army. Under 20 seconds to shoot for Kyle Lehman. Penn State just discombobulated. That ball never had a chance. The lefty shot from Liam Matthews, and now Colgate looking to clear it. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Raiders with a 2-0 lead. Donnie Tedesco on the clear. Colgate goals from Liam Connor, number 14, and Ben Trumbull, number 24, contributing from that second midfield. Liam's older brother Rory with it now. 15 total turnovers in this first quarter. 8 for Penn State, 7 for Colgate.
And that just speaks to the tempo of the game, and that's what Colgate wants. Like, Penn State is going to have to make an adjustment there. This is not their game.
Druin turns and shoots, backed up by Liam Connor. Little Superman dive for good measure to make sure he was closest to it. Where and when it went out of bounds. Inside a minute in the first.
Druin is 4th on this Colgate team in goals with 32.
That's a lot of goals to be 4th on a team. There goes Druin again, the junior from New Hampshire. Tried to skip it across to Turner. Trying not to touch it as the shot clock gets down to 2.
And Colgate's going to bury this ball in the corner, the far corner most likely.
Yeah, and set up the ride.
They want Penn State clearing towards the box side.
And Matt Lacombe was already out of his goal before the shot clock horn even went off. 10-man ride is on. Frassian taking the bait. It's bouncing toward the goal just wide. Out of bounds. Colgate ball. Another Penn State turnover.
And again, that Penn State is, they're just feeding right into what Colgate is trying to do, taking the long shot, right? Like, I get it. Like, that's a way to beat it, but they're not getting any possessions, right? Like, there's ways to get people open in the middle of the field against a 10-man. Find who Lacombe's guarding. Pull them away from the cage. Get open, like, rather than take the shot from the midfield where you may not win the run out, or it doesn't get through and Colgate gets the ground ball.
Druin dispossessed. It was stolen by John King, and that's how the first quarter comes to a close. Versus 9 Penn State. That's an incredible number, with more turnovers in the first quarter today than the entire matchup to start the season back on February 1st. That was a 14-9 Penn State victory. But the Colgate coach, Matt Carl, told us, look, we're comfortable in this environment. We've won here, we've lost here, we know where we want to eat, we know where we're staying.
And Coach Carl would obviously love to win the turnover margin, right? Like, we'd love to be on the lower side of that, but if Penn State just has far more than they're used to, like, take that too, right? Like, he knows they're gonna, like, their brand of lacrosse, Colgate's gonna make turnovers. They're gonna take risky opportunities, but live with that. They're trying to get Penn State to not play their brand of lacrosse.
Penn State averages fewer than 14 turnovers per game, which is 7th best in Division I. Already 8 through one quarter, and that might be low. Trainer catches the feed, stings the top shelf. When you're in trouble, look to number 22.
Matt Trainer from Malvern Prep outside of Philadelphia. Cuts, got the ball or the stick in the wrong hand, but keeps moving his feet. Steps away and then rips it low to high near side. Typically when you're cutting to that back post, you want the stick in your left hand. But Trainer catches it, keeps moving, gets his hands free and unloads one to get Penn State on the board.
He scored 5 goals against Colgate in the season opener. He's got Penn State's first goal today. Again, Rummel and Gills, and Penn State wins the faceoff. Reed Gills, the freshman from Annapolis for Penn State, who's got it right now, was terrific against Maryland in their last game. The loss in the Big Ten tournament semifinal. He was 18 for 22. Colby Baldwin is out, who is Penn State's top faceoff guy for much of this season, and Reed Gills has stepped up in a big way. It took Penn State almost 16 full minutes to get on the board, but it was Matt Trainer. And now it's a 1-goal game. Here comes Will Peden. And now Trainer at X. Turning the corner.
That's a nice job from Trainer. He's too big a body for Colgate to allow him to get a running head start and to dodge off a ball movement, because you just can't stop him. He's going to run through your check, or he's going to roll back and create a question mark move for a pretty easy shot. So they've got to engage him a little bit earlier on in his offensive flow.
Here comes Duraco. Now it's Hunter Aquino taking the shot. Aquino, the Big Ten freshman of the year, who's been dealing with some serious injury issues over the past month and a half. He's barely practiced in that span, but he's gutting it out here in the NCAA tournament. Shot clock into single digits. Now 5 to shoot as Penn State with the backup, see if they even try to get a shot away. Penn State just 1 for 12 shooting. And with that bevy of turnovers, Duraco will ice the ball, and Penn State sets up the ride.
Now I know Penn State didn't put one in the back of the net there, but they have to be happy with that possession. Good flow, opportunities created. Good patient offense.
Our nightcap tonight, Georgetown against Duke. Nicole. Triangle for they had North Carolina Richmond to start the festivities today. That was the Spiders' upset win to pick up their first NCAA tournament win in program history. Congratulations to Dan Shamati and his entire program.
He's been knocking on the door for a while with that Richmond program.
Turner, the step down. And Colgate back in front by 2.
And again, Colgate in the flow on the 6-on-6 offense. Jack Turner gets his 53rd goal of the season. He can absolutely rip it from the outside. Again, this is just good ball movement. You see that passing lane opens up. He puts Colgate on the board for the first time in about the last 9 minutes. But again, I love what they're doing offensively in the 6-on-6. Penn State made that a little too easy for them to have that wide open step down that early in the offensive set. Miscommunication on their part.
Clean win for Gill. Set it up for Trainer, and Lacombe all the way. Matt Lacombe, the MVP of the Patriot League tournament. He's been rolling up accolades in his career from outside of Syracuse, the senior. The assist on that last Turner goal goes to Andrew Kiefer, the first-year player from Westchester.
And Colgate, right there, they moved Liam Connor, who's an attackman, came over the midfield to help in that clear.
Connor very sure-handed. 47 assists for Liam Connor, number 14. into the offensive end. 5 minutes into the second quarter, but another Colgate turnover.
It's a careless exchange behind the goal there.
And we want to apologize for any technical difficulties we're experiencing. Beautiful day here in State College, Pennsylvania. About 70 degrees and sunny on commencement weekend. Penn State hosting in the NCAA tournament again. They're in the big dance for the third year in a row, trying to get back to championship weekend, which they did in 2019 and 2023. Nittany Lions today, though, shooting just 1 for 14. Lame in the feed in front, and there's Jack Amo. Makes it a one-goal game again.
Jack Amon with his 21st of the season. Again, this is the type of offense that we're accustomed to seeing from the Nittany Islands. Again, people don't appreciate in lacrosse how important it is to change your attacking angle to the opposite side of the field. If you operate in a phone booth, so hard to play offense, right? And I think you're seeing more and more of it in college lacrosse because the two-man game has become such a big part of it. But for a team like Penn State that likes to initiate from the midfield, you have to get the ball through X and attack the backside.
So basically just reverse field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stretch the defense laterally.
Like hockey assists are so important in college lacrosse. And they don't get stats for it, but if you really look at the best teams who move the ball the best, it's that first pass. It's a pass, then another pass that typically leads to a high scoring or a high quality scoring opportunity.
Well, we've got Russ DeLynn up here, the best statistician in the game, so he should track hockey assists for us. You can do that, right, Russ? All right, he's on it. Just over 6 minutes into the second, a low-scoring game. Colgate by 1. Turner takes the shot and buries another. Jack Turner's got his second goal of the game, and all 6 goals tonight have been assisted.
This opportunity actually starts with an errant behind-the-back pass from Rory Connor, but it gets through the middle of the field clean. Right, we're going to see this behind the back, and Colgate picks it up quick, and then his brother Liam realizes the quicker he can move that ball out of his stick off the pickup of the ground ball, something great can happen. And right here, it's a nice job by Turner stepping off the back post and then ripping it to the far post to get Colgate back up by 2.
Gills wins it forward for Penn State.
And I think that's an important thing to keep an eye on. Right now, Penn State dominating the face-off X. They are never going to be out of this game.
And a timeout for the Nittany Lions, their first of 2 here in the first half. Dominating at the X, but losing on the scoreboard. 4-2 for the unseeded Raiders. Their dad is here somewhere, but not sitting next to Mora, so they're enjoying it separately. But Liam and Rory doing what they do, leading the way for Colgate. So far, though, Jack Turner's been the offensive star for the Raiders. He's got 2 of their 4 goals as they lead by a pair against Penn State.
As much as I think this game and the tempo has favored Colgate, credit Penn State for keeping it close, within striking distance, starting to generate more high-quality opportunities. Trainer makes to Amon, who just misses.
Amon with it again. He's got 1 goal in the second quarter already, trying to thread the needle, but he missed his own teammates, and it's another Penn State turnover. That's 10. It does feel like their offense has settled in the second quarter after a scoreless first.
And some of the chaos, I think, of Colgate is dissipating as well.
John King with a nice play to get a stick on that pass, and Kevin Parnham comes away with it for Penn State, hitting the gas. 10 different Nittany Lions have taken a shot in the opening quarter and a half. Goals from Trainer and Amo. Jeff Tambroni told us this week that they felt bullish entering the season. High hopes, high expectations. A lot of experienced guys who have played in big games. Of course, that 2023 run to championship weekend where they lost on Garrett Ledman's overtime goal against Duke, which was controversial to say the least, with a foot in the crease. It's a Penn State program that's been knocking on the door. Goal line extended, it's Lehman. Shot clock down to 15. The feed in front, and Lacombe's all over it. That's 4 saves. Matt Lacombe's dialed in.
A nice team defense from Colgate. It wasn't necessarily bad offense, but Colgate played their angles really, really well. And again, they're going to give up that shot. They trust Lacombe in the cage with how well he's playing, that he's going to make the saves he's supposed to. And if they're low angle shots, those are the ones he's supposed to make.
Now Colgate playing around a little bit in the sub game here. They're keeping Patty Eldridge, the short stick D-mid, on the field. Hunter Aquino trap playing defense. And now Eldridge runs off. This is 5-on-5 for now. Here's Trumbull, who's got a goal already, number 24 for the Raiders. Now Druin. Hunter Druin against the short stick. Brendan Leary. Shot clock coming down to 20. On the invert, it's the midfielder Druin. Plants his foot, makes his move, missed the net, and I think he stepped in the crease. Yeah, he did. Penn State ball.
I think it looked like he got pushed into the crease, but to me, he may have not walked the tightrope tight enough. As prior to the hit, I think he actually stepped in the crease, so that's why Penn State has possession.
And Penn State hits the open net. Well, the 10-man ride will give it, and it will take it away. And finally, the Nittany Lions cash out, shooting at the unmanned goal. It's Ethan Long.
And that, to me, is the right time to take that shot in the clear. Early in the game, I thought they had their long sticks, shooting it from almost their goal the entire field. Here, they're able to work the ball up towards the midfield line, get into a short stick's hand, and they have a little bit more accuracy with their release as the Nittany Lions get their 3rd of the evening to cut the lead to 1.
That is the risk Matt Carwick is willing to take, playing on the 10-man ride. And we had a great conversation with him this week about how when he started as the head coach of Colgate back in 2018, they had some early success. He won his first game ever as their head coach against Syracuse, but they played a conservative style. He was trying to find his identity as a coach. A few years ago, they only won 2 games, and he said, look, guys, we're going to change how we do things here. We can either attack or have the other team attack us. I'm more interested in the former. We're going to attack and play aggressive. So they're okay giving up some goals like that.
It's their calling card, right? Like, again, Colgate, a great program, but not a traditional powerhouse. They're trying to figure out who are we? How can we attract talent? How can we differentiate ourselves? How do we get our name out there? And he's done an amazing job with that. And again, they've been knocking on the door the last few years. But today, this season, they finally put it together. And now are competing for a national championship run.
Yeah, making their first NCAA tournament appearance in 10 years. 2015 was the last time they were on this stage. Long shot from Amo and off the top left corner of the cage. And that'll reset the shot clock to 60.
Second post for Penn State on offense.
Amon, a dangerous outside shooter. Now Lehman finds the open man, and a save by Lacombe. He kicked it away. Denied Luke Wallstrom. 5 saves for Matt Lacombe.
But that's what happens when you attack the backside. Wallstrom was open for 10 seconds. Took Penn State a little while to find him, but eventually got it to him with a high-quality scoring opportunity.
And a timeout called by Colgate with 4:04 to play here in this first half. Colgate on top by 1. Well, the NCAA Men's Lacrosse National Championship game is Memorial Day Monday, May 26th at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN. It's at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. For more information, go to NCAA.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. It'll be special this year having the men's and women's championship weekend at the same location in Foxborough, outside of Boston, which just so happens to be the city of champions, so it makes sense that we'll crown a couple there on Memorial Day weekend. And, you know, talking to Matt Carwick, it's hard not to think about Ted Lasso. He is maybe the Ted Lasso of lacrosse. Super positive, high energy, talking about how he puts faith in his players to make the call to do the 10-man. Let's listen into his huddle.
I saw that last one on film when you took it. That was awesome. Then you're starting to get back to the rip. You're on the back pipe. What you see, you're exactly right, Turner. It's awful. So if we go to the backside, great take. Keep taking that ball. But if you get that ball to the backside, and really walk them side to side on both sides of the castle, early in the possession, we're going to get there. We're going to get that stuff going. You understand? Let's keep doing that. We're going to have about 2 more possessions every day. You understand? Let's go.
I was hoping you would end that with barbecue sauce. But definitely curious.
Are you guys here the rest of the way? If you keep going, or are you going back?
The Carwick way. It has worked for Colgate. 10-7 this season, but playing some of the best lacrosse in the country. 3 wins in 5 days in the Patriot League tournament, including a stunner of Army in West Point to punch their ticket to the big dance. 60 to shoot for Penn State. 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. There's been a low-scoring, high-turnover, chaotic, frenetic first half. Exactly what you would expect from a Colgate Raiders lacrosse game. Amon trying to get the hands free, sets up Trainer. They spin it toward X with Lehman. Now Luke Wallstrom. Amon dodging down the alley, turns, shoots, and scores. Ties the game at 4. That's 2 for Jack Amon, the Rutgers transfer.
Amon, throughout the course of this game, has been relentlessly attacking with the stick in his left hand, cradling, attacking the middle of the field here, but he does a nice job setting up his right hand, right? So, boom, it's that step back, the smooth release to the far post. Hard plant, does a nice job protecting his stick, and then the placement and the accuracy. Penn State's done a nice job kind of weathering the chaotic start, and now the pace of play is starting to lean and tilt more toward
goal in this first half. It's his 4th straight hat trick. Jack Turner's a volume shooter. He took 181 shots in the regular season, most in D1 by far.
And think about that though, like most people who are high volume shooters, a lot of those are created with the ball in their stick off the dodge. He's pretty exclusive off ball. So that's how well he knows and understands the game, to find space, to find time and room. And then obviously when you have Liam and Rory Connor, who are great passers as well, to find him, that's what leads to that.
It's almost like he's the long-lost 3rd Connor brother. This attack line works so well together. And Penn State's goalie, Jack Frassian, still without a save. As that one comes out high and hot of Rory Connor's stick. It'll stay with Colgate on the backup, 45 to shoot. Frassian, a 2-time Big Ten Specialist of the Year in 2023 and 2024. He was dethroned there by big tasty Caleb Fyock, the Ohio State goalie this season. There's the double team. Colgate finding the open man.
And I'd like to see Trumbull move that ball to the other side of the field.
Behind the back from Rory Connor. A race for the backup. It'll stay with Colgate. 14 on the timer. Raiders now 3 for 6 shooting in this quarter. Trying to feed the crease. A turnover taken away by Brendan Leary, the sophomore from Villanova, Pennsylvania. 15 turnovers for Colgate in this first half. Wow, what a finish. It's Liam Matthews picking it up off the carpet.
What a handle. From the sophomore, Liam Matthews.
Watch this play and you'll know he's Canadian.
I mean, look at this, right? This is an errant pass. It was not a bounce. Maybe it was a bounce pass. But the snag and then the behind the back release. The more I look at this, I think Leary meant to throw this pass on the ground. And, you know, when you have Liam Matthews with hands like that, you take that chance. At all costs, get it to your finisher inside. And Liam Matthews rewards him and knocks this game back at 5.
Liam Matthews, a sophomore from Orangeville, Ontario. At his high school lacrosse at the Hill Academy, a factory.
And Penn State really dominating the face-off X.
And they'll take their last time out of the first half. Penn State 8-4, the advantage at the face-off X. And they'll draw up a play with a shot clock turned off and 37 seconds to play until halftime. Gives us a chance to remind you that the Premier Lacrosse League begins Friday, May 30th at 6 p.m. in Albany, New York. First game of the season has the Carolina Chaos taking on the home team, the New York Atlas. Best month of the season for lacrosse fans, and it's May Madness leading right into the PLL opener. First weekend in Albany, as is tradition. So if you're Jeff Tambroni and Penn State, are you looking around saying, hey, Colgate was playing at their tempo. That was the type of game they wanted, and we're still tied with a chance to take the lead going into halftime. You got to be encouraged, right?
I think he's happy with where they're at based on the tempo early on, right? I think what switched a little bit is when Colgate wasn't making turnovers themselves early in the game. That switched, right? Now Colgate has more overall turnovers than Penn State. And again, that face-off control, it's kind of like the ace in the sleeve, right? Like it's such an advantage to know that you're going to get possession after possession. Now maybe a little less important against Colgate, who plays such a chaotic pace of play or tempo or style of play. But right now, if I'm Penn State on the offensive end, you got 37 seconds, right, to play patient on the offensive end, to milk that clock down to create one shot. And again, I think in this half, to go back to that point, first quarter Penn State had 8 turnovers, this quarter 4. And that's why the game has flipped on its head, because it's those extra possessions that they weren't giving up that led to more opportunity and more 6-on-6 offense where they're very effective.
They have settled in. They didn't score a single goal in the first quarter. They got 5 here in the second. Penn State trying to take their first lead of the game. Wallstrom finds Lehman. Spin it around up top. This is Matt Traynor. Will Peden now back to Traynor. Their top offensive threat. Liam Matthews just scored the last goal. Peden dodging, splits 2. Peden on the crease. 3 seconds left in the half. Lehman in front, and we go to halftime with a tie game. So Colgate holds firm out of the timeout on the final possession of the first half. And this is our second tie of the evening. 5-5 as we hit recess. the game as we start the third. It's Kyle Rummel and Reed Gills, the matchup we saw all first half. And Colgate violates, so they'll need someone else to take the next face-off. Another win for Gills, now 9-4. We'll keep an eye on that number because possession is everything in lacrosse. And Penn State dominating it, especially in the second quarter when they cleaned up their turnover issues and continued to dominate at X.
What a luxury, right? When your starting face-off man goes down who is winning close to 60%. Well, now you're above 70% with the freshman stepping in and Gills doing his part to make an impact.
Oh, we got an injury here, but Penn State scores anyway. This one might be a Pyrrhic victory for the Nittany Lions as Liam Matthews scores his second goal of the day, but Ethan Long was down right around that restraining line. Number 20 in white and blue limping off the field now.
Liam Matthews with his second of the game. You're going to see Long maybe rolls his ankle. Let's hope it's that. But still able to throw the nice touch pass to Matthews, who steps up, shoots that low to high to give Penn State their first lead of the afternoon.
And Long will get some attention from the trainers. It's a Penn State team that's dealt with a bunch of injuries throughout this season, notably Hunter Aquino, the Big Ten freshman of the year, has been banged up and has barely practiced for the last month and a half.
Colgate, given their lack of success, up even.
Relentless defense from the Nittany Lions. Raiders maintain possession. The crease feed, 3 white jerseys all over it. Colgate maintains. Here's the skip to Druin. 25 to shoot. Now Rory Connor sees 2 Penn State defenders. Looking to play the 2-man with Turner. Connor, the feed up top. Shot goes high from Druin. And the backup won by Penn State. Wow. Penn State makes him pay on the 10-man again. They hit the open net for the second time today. It's Will Costin with his first goal of the season.
From way downtown, Costin from the restraining box, just upper 90. Again, Penn State was doing that early in the game to not much success and quite frankly turning the ball over. But Costin right there threw it with pace, just ripped the upper portion of the net to give Penn State their first 2-goal lead of the evening.
And Gills wins another faceoff. Remember, Reed Gills in the Big Ten semifinals against Maryland was 18 for 22. That was a Penn State record for faceoff wins in a Big Ten tournament game. And you mentioned how Colby Baldwin was the guy earlier in the season. He's out with injury today. And Gills has stepped up in a big way. 11-4 today at the faceoff X. Lehman operating from X. Jack Amon, 55's got a couple of goals today. Trainer, that's a long behind the back shot from Amon, saved by Lacombe. Here comes Colgate in transition. Donnie Tedesco, number 2 in maroon. Got Ethan Long trapped on defense now. Rory Connor will survey as Colgate makes substitutions.
This is a big possession for Colgate. They have not generated consistent pressure really since the first quarter. Yes, they've had a couple goals, but the offense looks to be stalling.
Good luck, and Frassian makes his first save today. It was Tommy Arata the third on the shot, and Frassian with the stop. This is Casey Quinson, the first-year midfielder, playing the two-man with Liam Connor. He sets up Rory. Connor to Connor. Lower left corner to make this a one-goal game.
I told you it wouldn't be the only time. We said that early in the game. This time, it's Liam to his brother Rory. Really, I would say the first solid possession in some time for Colgate. They have Penn State rotating. And Liam Connor with a nice accurate pass to his brother, who's wide open in the most dangerous portion of the field. The low three-quarters sidearm release to the low portion of the cage.
That's Liam's third assist of the game and 50th of the season.
Gillis came into the game at 70%, upped it to 75% on the season with a dominating performance here.
12-4 is Penn State's advantage at the X. Here comes Hunter Aquino. Get up behind the cage for Lehman. Now it's Trainer. Scored Penn State's first goal early second quarter. Held scoreless since then. Had 5 against Colgate in the season opener this year. 6 minutes into the third quarter, Penn State by 1. Peden on the step down. Saved by Lacombe. Saw it all the way. That's 7 saves for Matt Lacombe, and a good portion of them have been clean saves. Again, they brought Liam Connor over the midfield line to help with that clear. Eldridge got it across half field, and now it's Rory Connor. Defended by Penn State's top cover man, Kevin Parnham. First midfield out there for Colgate. This is Hunter Druin, first team All-Patriot League. Followed by John King. Quinson hounded. Oh, a sharp angle, and Rory Connor stamps it to tie the game.
Quinson runs himself into trouble, but kept turning his feet, kept his momentum going, gets behind the cage, and then throws the pass to Rory Connor, who absolutely singes a corner that couldn't get a better angle than right here. I mean, lefty just to the absolute corner of the cage. Third tie of the ball game, 7-7 here in State College.
Notre Dame, and we got ourselves a tie game for the third time. Rory Connor heating up in a big way, just toasted the upper left 90 on a ridiculous shot from a sharp angle to make it 7-7.
Things to keep an eye on here, right? Penn State continuing to dominate the faceoff X, but also Jack Frassion in the cage, really struggling. He's got one save in this contest. When you compare that to Lacombe, who's at 7, it's the little things. Those are the differences in games.
Now Penn State won the faceoff, but they turned it over, and Colgate takes advantage. Eric's a long ball, Connecticut. His 8th goal of the season, and the 8th of the game for Colgate to retake the lead.
Erickson, his first goal since April 29th, causing chaos in the middle of the field. Then they push in transition. The bounce shot that also hits the corner. I mean, look at this. Right wraps under the bar. Three goals in exactly 2 minutes for Colgate to give themselves a 1-goal cushion yet again.
Gills wins another faceoff. That, by the way, the first unassisted goal of the night for Colgate. And how's that for dead-eye precision from a long pole? There's a reason Sam Erickson has 8 goals now in his junior season. And Colgate back in front. 3 in a row for the Raiders. Ethan Long trying to make something happen.
He's back out there. Good to see him after he rolled his ankle.
They got the assist on that goal by Matthews, who spins it back to X for Long. Now it's Amon. Matthews gives it up to Lehman. Here's Long. Penn State moving it well. That was kicked before it made it to Lacombe. And Matt Lacombe all over it. Colgate looking to clear it. Big time collision at midfield. Charlie Lohman lost the ball. Here comes Traynor. Fake the shot, keeps it, scores it. That's why the double deuce is the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. What a move to tie the game.
It all starts on the ride, giving Colgate a taste of its own medicine. Baldwin from Colgate tries to split the double team. Right here goes with the swim move, and Matt Traynor does a nice job. Credit Matthews as well, and then they pick it up. And then there's just something to be said about being determined. Takes on the entire Colgate defense. No chance he was passing that, and he gets the ball in the back of the net. That's what they call a juice goal.
His 35th of the season. Reed Gills has won 7 faceoffs in a row for Penn State. And he got tripped there after he won it forward. To make it 8 straight for Gills as Penn State comes away with possession. Hounding defense from Colgate. That's their calling card. And a timeout called by Jeff Tambroni and the Nittany Lions. Luke Wallstrom was in a straitjacket.
A generous call or perfect timing from Coach Tambroni as Colgate was extending out, putting it and applying all kinds of pressure. Coach Tambroni understanding how important every possession is as this game winds down.
Well, check out this upper bracket. I mean, what a treat it's been today. Richmond with that win over North Carolina, where, you know, if you're watching that game, the Spiders looked completely out of sorts at the start. They ended up figuring it out, picking up their first NCAA tournament win in program history. They've been a D1 program since 2014. They'll take on either Cornell or UAlbany. Winner of this one gets the winner of Ohio State and Notre Dame, and that one on ESPN2 tomorrow at noon. For more information, go to NCAA.com. It's your home for all 90 NCAA championships, including in men's lacrosse, Memorial Day Monday, May 26th at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough.
And that Richmond team's real deal, right? They played a lot of close games. So they play Cornell, #1 seed. Theoretically, Cornell gets through their first round game, right? They played in the regular season this year. It was 12-11 Cornell. And a game that, quite frankly, Richmond was up for the majority of.
Yeah, I think they were up 5-1 in that game.
They were up 6-1 at the end of the first quarter.
6-1.
And Cornell had a late surge. So they're learning to win. They've lost a lot of really close games to really good teams over the last few years. They finally break through today with a kind of dominating performance after a sloppy start, right? Getting down 4-0 in that matchup. They cleaned it up. Good goal. They got really good goaltending. They have strength at all the core positions in the field.
Now, you and I got a chance to call their first game at Virginia a couple of years ago. Literally, it was like a monsoon at Klockner Stadium. We both walked away very impressed by Dan Shamati and his Richmond program. So they're going to be heard from next week in the quarterfinals. Tie game here, under 6 to play in the third quarter. Patrick Carragher, 26 in white and blue. First time we've seen him today. Here's Wallstrom, the feed to Peden off his stick. And Hunter Aquino keeps it with the Nittany Lions. Aquino, the 6'4" freshman from Easton, Pennsylvania. Big Ten freshman of the year. Now Wallstrom. Shot clock down to 20. Kyle Lehman maintains possession. Lehman looking to roll back. Wallstrom now at X. Colgate keeping its shape. Two Raiders converge. Straight on. Finds. What a bailout from Will Peden. Bounces it past Lacombe.
And that's sometimes great offense beats great defense. I think Colgate did a nice job in their 6-on-6 defense there, timing their slides, recovering. Eldridge, who is matched up on Peden, is right on him, right? Like you can see him slide down now, push, and Peden does a nice job getting enough power onto that shot to go high to low. It's that changing of release, getting it to the bottom portion of the cage. Our third lead change of the evening.
We've had 4 ties as well. Another face-off win for Gills. The freshman out of Annapolis is just owning the X, 16-4.
He's popping it forward, he's pulling it back, really in complete control. And that's how you can't counter it, create all kinds of turnovers. Quite frankly, they have. Right? It's to win 9 face-offs in a row, right? Like you can make some mistakes and just know you're gonna get possession back.
Trying to just play make it, take it here. Coming up on 4 minutes left in the third. Aquino back to Lehman. Kyle Lehman, a Penn State legacy. His dad, Steve, played lacrosse here. Aquino back out top. It's where he likes to operate. Now Lehman to X and Ethan Long. Can they goose it ahead, keep it on this side? No, they can't. It's Colgate ball as it crosses midfield.
The intensity feels like the end of the fourth quarter, right? With the energy level and the coaches knowing how important each possession is with timeouts relatively early in the game.
That's a Colgate timeout, man. Jeff Tambroni, year 15 at the helm of this Penn State program, came over from Cornell. One of the best players in Hobart history. He's in the Hobart Hall of Fame. Looking to get Penn State back to championship weekend, where they've been twice since 2019.
That 2019 team was loaded, and they just kind of went up against the matchup they couldn't break through with T.D. Erlin at the faceoff X for Yale. They just couldn't get possession. But really, look, if they avoided Yale in that tournament, I think they win by 5 or 6 goals against every team.
Out of the timeout, Colgate. A little sloppy offensively. It'll be Penn State ball in transition. Ryan O'Connor gives it up to Lehman. Lehman shoots and scores. A little deception with the head. Fakes low, shoots high. Penn State by 2.
Penn State now beating Colgate at their game. They've scored on their last 3 shots, and you hit the nail on the head, right? It's a nice job on the ground ball. They pick it up, and he skips the point man. He gets it to Lehman, who tucks it to us, does the face dodge, protects his stick, and it's the subtle dip of the head. See Lacomb's hands go down at the exact moment where he dips his head. His first of the game, but none bigger.
Does Kyle Rummel have any answer for Gills?
What a ground ball.
Yeah, Sam Erickson, who scored the goal earlier for Colgate, comes away with it, and that's their first face-off win in an eternity. Penn State had won 9 in a row.
Colgate's had the most success on the offensive end, where they've had patient, drawn-out, slow offensive possessions. Make Penn State's defense rotate, and then find your step-down shooters.
Jack Turner had 3 goals in the first half. That shot from Rory Connor, backed up by younger brother Liam. Rory the senior, Liam the sophomore from Manhasset, New York. Here's Hunter Druin. He's been kept off the score sheet so far. 32 goals and 16 assists during the season. Druin sees 2, draws the slide. Now it's Turner. And here's Rory Connor. Back behind goal line, extended. The turn, the shot. Frassian with the save. Just his second all day, but that was a beauty.
Read it all the way, and Frassian has a tendency to drop, to get down low. But a nice job by him, keeping his composure, even though he hasn't had his best stuff today.
Penn State settles it down with Trainer. He's got 2 goals today, 35 for the season. Top scorer in the Big Ten. And he made it 3 years in a row. A Nittany Lion won Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. TJ Malone went back-to-back. Colgate didn't fall for the hidden ball trick.
I did. I couldn't tell who had it.
Here's Lehman, just scored his first goal of the day. Trainer on the split. Surveys, 25 to shoot. Lehman couldn't handle the pass. Amon picks it up, kicked away by Lacombe. Another big save from the senior. Colgate ball, 8 saves for Matt Lacombe. Starting to get a little testy, more intense with 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter. This is do or die. You move out of the quarterfinal. You lose, your season is over. Tedesco stays out there to play offense for Colgate, keeping Aquino trapped out there for Penn State. Now Tedesco runs off. Game and shot clock split by 10 seconds. Coming out of the box, it's Druin. Defended by the short stick Leary. Colgate can hold for the final shot. The shot clock is longer than the game clock now here in the third. And more good Penn State defense forcing the turnover. That's how the third quarter comes to an end. Just a picturesque day here in Happy Valley. Commencement weekend at Penn State. They're trying to cap off this Saturday with a win. No goals in the first quarter, 5 apiece in the second and third, and Penn State leads Colgate by 2 as we take into the fourth quarter of this NCAA tournament first round game. Drew Carter and Matt Ward back with you, our entire terrific crew. Shadows starting to creep across the field here at Panzer as Penn State hosts again in the NCAA tournament. They win another face-off. Reed Gills just racking them up. 17-5 is Penn State's advantage at the face-off X.
Credit Brendan Leary on that one with the hustle to the sideline. The goose.
They got to clear it in a hurry before the shot clock hits 60, and they just barely do. Penn State didn't lead once in the first half, just a couple of ties. In the third quarter, 5 goals to take a 2-goal lead to the fourth. As Amon's shot goes wide, backed up by Luke Wallstrom.
And I have to think that this end of the field, looking directly into the sun, much harder to play goalkeeper.
Matt Lacombe's been dynamite today for Colgate, 8 saves. Aquino the feed. Lehman checked. 10 to shoot. Here's Matt Trainer. Shot clock down to 3. Lehman gets it away off of a helmet. And that's a clock violation. Colgate on the clear. Look at Eldridge lowering the shoulder. Matt Carwick, his head coach, says he's crazy physical. That's the guy that stirs the drink on the clear. Hey, UFC 315 is tonight at the Bell Center in Montreal, highlighted by 2 title fights. Prelims begin at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus in English and Spanish. This is the younger Connor brother, Liam. Liam Connor has 3 assists today. The Colgate offense has gone cold here in the second half. Turner couldn't handle the pass, scoops it up. Jack Turner still got it. 20 to shoot. Nice feed. And the shot off the mark from Rory Connor. Check that Hunter Druin. Druin still trying to get on the score sheet. 48 points, 111 shots during the season.
When you're facing a goalie, he has 2 saves on the day. You got to get it on Cage. Make him make a stop. Now you put yourself in a tough place with a limited time to initiate offense with the shot clock counting down.
Turner dispossessed. Good defense from Penn State. Ryan O'Connor, the long stick midi. Colgate has taken just 3 shots in the last 10 minutes.
That was they generated a nice scoring opportunity. Just when a goalie is struggling, get it on Cage.
That's 19 Colgate turnovers today. If they have an Achilles heel, that's it. They average more than 18 turnovers per game, 59th in the country. Here's Ryan Duraco, the sophomore from Haverford, Pennsylvania. Defended by the short stick, Michael Kiley. Duraco still has it. Here's Wallstrom. Luke Wallstrom shoots and saved by Lacombe. battling the sun, and Lacombe makes his 9th save.
And there's the Weasel out of the box again. Nice job for Colgate, clearing towards the bench side. So what that means, a lot of times teams will run a D-midi into the box on their side of the field and then sneak somebody in further down the box to create separation and deception.
Colgate scoreless for the last 12+ minutes. Ben Trumbull, 24 in maroon, has a goal today. Here's Liam Connor playing the 2-man with Casey Quinson. Connor, the feed for the crease. Saved by Frassian. Denied Trumbull, who had a point-blank look. It'll stay with the Raiders.
Good for Frassian, making his best save of the game. Always amazing with these goalies how they can keep their composure and worry about the next shot, not the last one.
And Penn State having to play defense for a long time here, though. Fresh 80 for Colgate's offense. Quinson makes the move, goes low to high. And Colgate back within 1. The first-year midfielder's got his first goal today.
This is just filthy. Quinson here, again, a nice job. Matched up against a short stick. Switches back to his left hand and below to high. Superman could be in cage and not make that save. Just the snap of the wrist, near side high. Again, you can see Frassian's tendencies to drop, but credit Quinson for dropping his hands, and then the unique ability to be able to snap your wrist to bring it low to high, the elevator on the run.
Every faceoff so critical. A 1-goal game in the 4th quarter. Won by Rummel and Colgate. And they want to run. Rummel thought about it. Instead shovels it back to Liam Connor. You know, that move by Quinson, you saw the talent. He's a first-year player, really an attackman, but they're running him out of the box so he can stay on the field. Got a chance to attack short sticks, which is something you never got to do in high school. This is Quinson again, defended by John King. Quinson plants his foot, makes the move. Frassian with his 4th save.
You really have to change planes with Frassian. He does a really good job.
Oh, Trainer denied by Lacombe. A clean save trying to start the clear. What a takeaway by Kevin Parnham. He just speared that thing. Lacombe with a great save, denying Trainer, and immediately flung it toward midfield. But Kevin Parnham was there. Eight minutes to play. Penn State by 1. Here's Ethan Long. Back to Aquino. Lacombe, another clean stop. That's 11 saves today for the senior.
And Lacombe just attacking that shot with his top hand. Pretty good placement from Aquino. And Lacombe not only makes a save, but catches it clean and makes it an easy clear for the Colgate Raiders.
That's 11 saves for him, and probably 5 or 6 at least have been clean like that. And a chance to start the clear and try to score in transition. Druin scanning. Hunter Druin defended by the short stick King. Now it's Liam Connor's turn. Connor defended by Alex Ross. Now Colgate saves it. Jack Turner with an incredible play. And Druin keeps it for the Raiders. Bookmark that if they score on this possession. 15 to shoot. Connor, the feed. Turner! Nasty! He kept it alive, and then he beat the shot clock. Tie game at 10.
Right here, Turner with the individual effort on the sideline, keeping it in bounds. Then he gets up and finds space. Just popping near side. In and out of his stick to Colgate and Penn State. Deadlocked at 10 in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
There was a "Let's go Gate" chant that broke out during that timeout. Here comes Reed Gills after the clean win. Sets up Lehman. Out of bounds, backed up by Matt Trainer in Penn State. It is cool to see how the Colgate lacrosse family has traveled for this game, and we do want to say that Colgate, Matt Carwick told us this week they lost a lacrosse alum from the 90s a couple of days ago, and Matt Carwick wants the alumni base to know the team is thinking of them. It is a family out there in Hamilton, New York. And they're trying to push their team to just their second NCAA tournament win in program history. Penn State in the fourth quarter, 0 for 6 shooting. And Matt Lacombe, the goalie, is a big reason why. Lehman trying to find an inch against Donnie Tedesco. Lehman gets the hands free, missed the shot. 36 to shoot as Trainer's there on the backup.
Tedesco, knowing Lehman is a left-handed player, does a nice job shading his strong hand, making him go to his right.
Trainer feeds Long. Long is swarmed. The Colgate defense is everywhere. Erickson goosed it to himself. He's got a goal already. Sam Erickson! A juice goal for the Raiders, and they're back in front.
This starts on the defensive end with Colgate causing the turnover. And then Sam Erickson picks it up clean, pushes in transition, and Penn State is slow to slide. We're going to get a great angle here. This is a three-quarter release dink with the long pull. They're not supposed to be able to do that. How casual and confident was that for the three-quarter release with the long stick? He's a wizard. He's had a couple ground balls where he picks it up and takes it over his head. And there, gets his second goal of the game. Colgate is playing a game of runs.
Well, Rummel violates, so won't be able to take the next face-off. Keep that in mind. You said the game of runs. Colgate with 3 goals in the last 4 minutes and change to take this 11-10 lead. Sam Erickson has scored twice today, both on a bouncer. First one ended up in the top left corner. That one with a three-quarter release, just nasty from a pull. We got a tie game again. It's Liam Matthews with his hat trick. All square at 11 with 5:01 to play.
Matthews does a nice job stepping up the field. This is a hard surface where shooters can take advantage of the high bounce. Right here, just to settle up the field. And we've seen that a few times today. Bouncing it far enough out in front of the crease and then wrapping the ball around the top bar for our 6th tie of the game. We talked about the NCAA tournament and the parity and trying to say, like, hey, who's going to win this thing? Like, it really is up for grabs. Anyone can make a run, and we thought this would be a close one. Both teams playing a solid brand of lacrosse.
Penn State relentless after the faceoff. They win it. And here comes Kyle Lehman. Lehman the feed. Goal line extended for Matthews, who just scored his 3rd goal. And you got to wonder if the sun has anything to do with that last goal Lacombe gave up. You see the sun shining off of his helmet, but he's standing in the shade. He was staring directly at it on that last goal from Matthews.
He seems to have seen and been tracking the ball pretty well here in the 4th quarter. That was just a great shot from Matthews.
Yeah, perfect placement to tie the game at 11. Our 6th tie tonight. Trainer gets the hands free, and Lacombe saw it all the way. His 12th save. On the clear, it's Charlie Lohman, who his coach Matt Carwick says is a freak athlete. Tried to take it all the way to the crease, and it's taken away by Kevin Parnham.
Lapse in judgment there for their 22nd turnover. But Charlie Lohman, a couple of critical turnovers here in the 2nd half. Tried the one-man clear early on. That one there, more a mental error in my opinion. Possession's too important, especially when you can't win faceoffs.
That's 40 combined turnovers. Interesting thing about this game, we've only had 2 combined penalties, both against Colgate. When they matched up in the season opener on February 1st, 13 combined penalties. Here's Lehman. Amon. Now it's Peden. He's got a goal today. Shot clock winds down to 20. Amon on the invert. The midfielder behind the cage. 15 to shoot for Trainer. On the swim. Picked up by the short stick. Trainer. 8 to shoot. Lehman's got to go in a hurry. Attacking Carabine. The feed behind the back. Matthews with the miss, and the shot clock expires.
Just too far out to be taking that shot. I think you could shoot that over the top with your strong hand and give yourself a better chance. A nice job here from Penn State riding.
5 seconds to clear it for Colgate. Ball is loose. Not anymore. Picked up by Ryan O'Connor. 23 turnovers for Colgate, and they can't win a faceoff.
The Colgate D-Middies having a tough time clearing the ball over the midfield. Speaks to the athleticism of the Penn State ride. They're not 10-man riding. They're doing their normal ride. Frassion staying in the cage. They're just showing a ton of athleticism, making it hard to clear that midfield, making them make an extra pass. When they have to throw that one extra pass, bad things can happen.
90 seconds left. Penn State is 1 for 10 shooting in the 4th quarter. Liam Matthews has the 1 goal, 51 in white and blue.
Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. I think Penn State's a little late in the shot clock here.
Under 30 to shoot. Matthews tucks it home. His 4th goal today. And Penn State's back in front with 1:09 to go.
And what a huge goal from Matthews. The failed clear coming back to haunt Colgate. It's the turnover in the middle of the field, just the failed pass to Liam Connor. And now you have a Penn State. You can see Matthews taking a step down the back, but then the nice face dodge. The smooth finish. Really not much angle there behind Lacombe, who held the post pretty well.
Liam Matthews, 19 goals during the season, 4 goals today in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Massive face-off. Penn State wins another. Here's O'Connor. They can slow it down with 1 minute to play. The shot clock is not a factor, so Colgate's going to have to press out.
And this is where Penn State has the timeout. They're not going to call it here. They're going to wait till they're feeling pressure.
Lacombe is out of his goal.
But I also think it's important for Penn State to be thoughtful around where they keep the ball here.
Yeah, there's the timeout by Jeff Tambroni.
It'll be interesting to see where they take possession of the ball here, because Colgate is going to double team out of the whistle. And again, if the ball is high above goal line extended where they can have an angle to shoot it, it adds an element for the offense as they try to think through how do we attack this double team coming out of the timeout.
Our final game today, Georgetown against Duke. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern over on ESPNU, and then tomorrow at noon, maybe the most anticipated game of the first round this year, Notre Dame and Ohio State. But how about Reed Gills, Matt? I mean, 20 for 27 at the faceoff X. The guy's a freshman. And this is now 2 games in a row where he's been utterly dominant. He was 18 for 22 against Maryland in the Big Ten semis.
In close games, goaltending and faceoffs tilt the field pretty significantly. And when Frassan, who's played better here late in the game but struggled early on, not as impactful when you keep getting faceoff after faceoff and keep Colgate off of the offensive end.
Liam Matthews with his second goal of the fourth quarter, his 4th of the game. That's the one that gave Penn State the lead.
Just a composed finish. Lacombe came off that post like really late and showed him about 2 inches, and he found it.
Now, important to note here, Colgate is pretty comfortable with their goalie out of the net. I mean, this is a team that's built on the 10-man ride.
And so the possession here, right, that's what I thought. It's goal line extended below, so Traynor does not have the opportunity
to just shoot the ball.
So what you typically will see here is you try to identify who's being guarded by the goalie. And my guess is you're going to see Wahlstrom flash down to the far post, and if Traynor gets in trouble as he splits the double team.
Matt Traynor buries it. He said, "I'll do it myself." The Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year might have just delivered the dagger.
And he sets this up. He takes a hard jab step up the field, gets a separation of the double team. Look, it's that subtle step right there, opens up the Red Sea, and he's able to get the insurance goal for Penn State. Now again, in a close game, if you're not winning faceoffs, you may not take that shot, because you could run this game clock down to 0, but when you're winning 20 of 27 faceoffs, you feel comfortable getting the 2-goal margin, because you think you're going to come up with that ground ball in possession.
Under 30 seconds to play. O'Connor with another ground ball. Gills with another face-off win. Penn State can run it down. Lacombe is back in the cage. That'll do it.
Credit both these teams. Competitive,